Broadcasting all over the world at urbanbroadcastmedia.com. Delivering love and inspiration 24/7. This is UBM Praise. The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries. Thank you for listening to UBM Praise.
Tuesday.
I got a special treat for you this evening. A young man that you all know is Joe the Policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. I want you to put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause.
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
What's his name?
Sir Walter Jones.
Whose show is this?
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
Say it again.
Sir Walter Jones.
Who you with?
Sir Walter Jones.
One more again.
Sir Walter Jones.
The Sir Walter Jones Show. Co-host Alvin Carter. We are a Christian talk show in where we tackle all the hot topics in a believer's walk.
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
What's his name?
Sir Walter Jones.
Whose show is this?
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
Say it again.
Hi, this is James Morton, and this is Black and Married with Kids presents Truth You Won't Believe. This is a continuation from episode 2, and I don't want to get confused with numbers and data, but these are two very, very specific points around African American women achievement today. And I don't want this to be confused because it's two very important and critical tipping points in the African American community's history, as well as achievements for African American women. In episode 2, we talked about, for the first time, over 50% of young black women, 18 to 24, are enrolled in college. Half. Overall, this is from age 15 to forever. For the first time in the history of data collection by the National Center for Education Statistics, as reported by the U.S. Census Bureau, black women have surpassed every other group in this country based upon race and gender. What does that mean? For the first time in our history, African American women have surpassed all groups in college entrance based upon race and gender. That's right. African American women enroll in college more than Asian men, white women. You name the group, either race or gender, African American women are number one by the numbers. 9.7%. Historic and monumental. A number that I believe every mainstream media, if not mainstream, every black media outlet should be reporting. This is Black History Today. It's being made. Where is the press release? Where is the news outlet? Where is the media outlet that would give us just one slight tip of the hat that black women have set history, that black history is being made right now? We don't have to go back to Harriet Tubman. We don't have to go back to George Washington Carver. Their accomplishments are great, but what about is going on today that we can hold up in front of all African Americans to say, we are great today? That education, as though it's been valued in our history, is valued today even more so. It's not going to happen. I'm here to tell you today that African American women and African American men today are holding up the lamp that has always been a testament to blacks in this country. We have always valued education, if not more so today than any other time in this history. And as we close every episode, take this one to the bank. You need to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, have I been lied to? And 2, if I have been lied to, why?
To find nice women here.
Oh, you got to go to a nice place, a quiet place like a library. It's a good woman there. And at church, it's good girls.
Ladies, it's Tuesday. Pink Perspectives on the Sir Walter Jones Show, right here on UBM Praise.
Hey everybody, this is Joe, the policeman from the What's Going Down episode. That's my mom.
Yes!
Sir Walter Jones Show. I am he, and I am excited to be here. It is Tuesday. Another wonderful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? As I take my jacket off and put my gym shoes on. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Yesterday's show, it was very powerful. It was enlightening. The men were here, and we were coupled with Amanda Petaway, who really gave us some wonderful insights through the realm of men being annoyed by women folks. Annoying. Yeah. Okay, check my app there, D. Somebody saying the app ain't working right now. I don't know what's going on with y'all. These technology, boy. I tell you, y'all let me know if the app is not working, because I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me. I know Spreaker's hearing me because it's a rebroadcast show, so so they gonna hear me. Here we go here. Today's show is very interesting. You heard the soundbite there earlier as we climbed in this particular show of mine called the Sir Walter Jones Show. The man talked about some wonderful statistics about African-American women who are going to school. Many of them, they are bombarding, they are overrunning the schools. And many of them are graduating magna cum laude and kumbaya. And all these foreign terms, class presidencies, and all these great things. But I want you guys to understand that what's going on now in the education world with women didn't happen in early times. You have to understand there was a progression that was made here, because before, women were considered, they had to stay at home, and they were not allowed to vote. They were not allowed to really work the way they're working today. Until recent history, women have largely been excluded from the educational system. It may surprise you to know that while Harvard opened in the year 1636, the first college to admit women did not do so for another 200 years. Women did not begin attend college in equal numbers to men until the recently, like 1980. Education is something that women today often take for granted, and they do not think about all the hard work it took to attain the right education. So in the past, women with a little education often believed that they were not capable of things like participating in politics and having a career or even owning property. Yeah, it's just the way it was. Women who were blessed enough to have received a quality education were more likely to be pioneers in civic activism and making history. By understanding the history of women's education, one is able to better appreciate how far they've come and the extraordinary feats that women have climbed, these mountains that they've climbed over. And so we're blessed to have women in education today, and it was the ladies who, kind of showed me my way in education. And we'll talk about that a little further in this show. But I do want to see if I can read a little history here. I'm going to the god of the internet, Wikipedia.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Google.
Yeah, the god of the god of information, Wikipedia. Because if Wiki says it's right, it's correct. It's always right. They're never wrong. Wiki. Okay, yeah. Okay, the app is back working. Thank you, Matthew Brown. He is definitely a different of ours of the show. Yeah. He's a special kind of guy, that Matthew Brown. Love him, I do. In the early years of American history, women were discouraged from pursuing higher education because it was considered unnatural for a woman to be educated. Women who advanced their education were considered unsexed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Over the last few centuries, women's positions and opportunities in the educational sphere have improved dramatically. Since 1982, more bachelor degrees have been earned in the United States by women than by men. Women now also earn the majority of master's degrees and doctorate degrees in the United States. back in history in colonial America, girls were taught to read and write, but could only obtain higher education if there were room in the schools for boys. Generally, that restricted them to being educated in the summer when boys were working. Then came the 1930s, a shift happened, and then women got in college, and then women began to found colleges. I'm a student of the Bethune-Cookman College, which was founded by Mary McLeod Bethune, who started that school with about 15 girls. It was an all-girls school, and right there in Daytona Beach. And President Roosevelt's wife at the time, Eleanor, was very instrumental, and she wanted someone to head the Negro, like a Negro action type thing. And she asked Mary McLeod Bethune to be the head that, and she came down to the White House, and there we have footage of her there talking with our president's wife. And she was a woman of education. I was honored to be a tour guide of her home there on campus. That's where she lived, and that's where she died, right there in that same home. And as I would walk up and down those stairs and go into the bedroom and go into the kitchen, and it's just the way she left it in 1955. You know, they didn't want to touch anything. Of course, we had to clean, but there are pictures of all the people who she shook hands with and she helped. Even the first woman millionaire who created those hair products. Madam C.J. Walker, Maine, yeah, okay, and all these great people, okay, and so women have always been a part of education in our lives. Now, even if there was not an opportunity for education as we know it today, as far as going to a university or institution, your mother, your grandmother, and your auntie was the educator in your house. She was the one that taught you about the ways of the world, about life in general. But I want to, there is a wonderful little meme that Brown sent me a few days, last week, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, but it was a teacher's contract from 1923. It it's showing you some of the morals of the standards that were used at that time for a teacher. This is an agreement between a woman, because the teachers a lot of them were women, of course, because every time you look at a Little House of the Prairie and you see a little schoolhouse in a little southern town, it's a woman standing there with that long,
long frock.
Yeah, frock. Okay.
And the contract was so intense.
I'm about to read that contract. 1923. This is an agreement between Miss Carter.
Never.
Miss Carter.
No, Miss McGillicuddy.
Miss McGillicuddy, teacher, and the Board of Education of, let's say, the Mississippi School, whereby Miss Crabtree agrees to teach in the Mississippi School for the period of 8 months, beginning September 1st, 1923. The Board of Education agrees to pay Miss Crabtree the sum of $75 a month. Miss Crabtree agrees, number one, not to get married. This contract becomes null and void immediately if the teacher marries. Number two, not to keep company with men. Number three, to be at home between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless the attendance at school functions.
Say what?
Yes. Number four, not to loiter in downtown ice cream stores. Apparently, if a woman was in an ice cream shop in 1923, she was loose.
Because her milkshake was bringing all the boys to the yard.
They was like, woo, got milk? Number five.
Well, so it's never mind.
No, not your time, man, not your time. Not to leave town at any time without the permission of the chairman of the Board of Trustees. Number six, not to smoke cigarettes. I agree with number six.
Yes, Lord.
Dragging ladies, Lord have mercy. Yeah. This contract becomes null and void immediately if the teacher is found smoking. Number seven, not to drink beer. Yeah, wine or whiskey.
Oh, no, you got to have that to be a teacher.
Right, you do. This contract becomes null and void immediately if the teacher is found drinking beer, wine, or whiskey. Number eight, not to ride in a carriage or automobile with any man except her brother or father. Yeah, Tina, you would have lost your job.
I would have willfully given my job starting with number one.
Because you gave me a ride the other day, and I'm glad your school board didn't see you. Number nine.
Our school is bored.
Yeah, our school is bored.
Excuse me?
Number 9, not to dress in bright colors. Again, you're fired. You fired today. You are show fired today. Number 10, not to dye her hair.
Y'all see her through the mic?
Not to dye your hair. You're fired again.
Yep.
How you gonna get fired on your day off? Number 11.
I went to work today.
You see what I'm saying? To wear at least 2 petticoats.
Oh.
Wow.
Even during the summer?
Petticoat Junction.
Foolishness.
Yep, because that's Uncle Joe. He moving kind of slow at the junction.
Right there,
Petticoat.
No, nothing.
Number 12, not to wear dresses more than 2 inches above the ankle. You sure. They done fired you about 6 times on this list.
I would have resigned like 1,200 times.
Number 13, to keep the schoolroom clean. That means A, to sweep the classroom floor at least once daily. B, to scrub the classroom floor with hot water and soap at least once weekly.
So she got to teach and be janitor.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Number C. C. I went to that school. To clean the blackboard at least once daily. Y'all do that anyway. We ain't got no.
Why you
y'all
pointing
got blackboard?
over here at me? Don't be pointing toward me.
Because my left hand is the pointer. And D, to start the fire. Start the fire at 7 a.m. so that the room will be warm at 8 a.m. Oh, for the kids. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a Christian show. I'm
It
sorry.
is. Well, sometimes at 4:30 we don't know.
4:30? Yeah, because 5:30 we saved.
We saved it. And that would have might have burned 5.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
Tina.
you do know back in those days that most of, if not all, teachers were female.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is like the foundation of this whole, I don't want to call it a conspiracy, disparity
Okay.
in expectation.
That's good. Disparity.
Of
good.
educational professionals.
And that's why.
And it continues even today.
I was about to say, and that's why it's one of the most unappreciated and overlooked professions.
Yes.
Because it's a female-dominant profession.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's female-dominant. I'm in it, so I can be an authority right now. We can go back and forth, but I'm letting you know it's female.
Well, no. I mean, statistically, there are more females, especially in the elementary grades. Which
I've done both.
It's that's just
Across the board.
It's
more
layers
women
of that,
and layers and layers and layers. But that's one of the reasons why education gets beat up, abused, kicked to the side, because of the feminine dominance
and the misogyny that exists in this country, right?
Ain't nobody give me no massage.
Not going to say I had a massage in a long time.
Nobody gave me no massage.
I've been looking for one. You ordered one?
Wow.
When you through with
no,
it.
They
I'm sorry.
massaged me. I ain't
no,
overplayed.
I'm sorry. Let me say, and the sometimes there's this disdain for feminine-dominated careers. That are not stay-at-home moms.
It's always
that's
we
what I
need
mean.
you out there, but we still got to put you in your place.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. What's your name today?
Oh no.
That's your name. Oh no. Hey, Davinia is chiming in here. I don't know if she's going to be here or not, but she's chiming on Facebook. She says, yes, in order to properly answer this question, we need to clear definition of what education is. Schooling and education are two different things and completely relative. Okay. Well, somebody did ask me, and it's funny that she put this up because a couple of people asked me, okay, what do you mean by your topic, are women more educated than men? And usually the women ask the question, are you saying, are we smarter? Or
well, I was saving that, and those are two different things.
No, exactly. So that's why. And actually, I was posting earlier on your Facebook page, and someone made the statement, well, it's an individual thing. And I stated that I'm speaking purely of statistics and as a whole.
Okay.
And if we define education or being more educated as to attaining a degree higher than a high school diploma,
okay,
that's one way to define education.
Yeah.
We're not
formal.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's a quick way of saying it.
Yeah.
Discussion or the cliff notes of discussion. Formal education, informal education.
So,
more women
do we have really quantifiable statistics about informal education and whether or not men are more informally educated? I think that would be the rub right there, because that's subjective.
It's subjective, but you can quantify it if you did the proper research. Find out how many men are in positions and not qualified for it based on whatever the job description requires. And it could be whether it's political or who you know, what you know, or skill set.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of men who have a lot of skills that they got just by immersion in the field. versus going to be properly trained. You have a lot of men who have skill sets who are innately or have a knack for a certain thing, but they were never formally trained. Mm-hmm. And then you have some people who are formally trained, who went to school and had formal education, can give you all the proper vocabularies. They don't call it a doohickey; they call it an actual tool.
Exactly.
But they may not be as talented in that field.
Well, there is a difference between skill and education / kind of knowledge of something.
Right.
You know, so I agree with you on that. But
whoa!
However, I am going to push the whole. We can quantify that because there's so many variables to that. Like you spoke about
like
the whole
data
political
collection variables.
Come on now. I mean, of course, but if you do a controlled experiment, you keep all the variables. Okay,
we can do that.
Yeah, we can.
You can line right now in this room, well, in this medium, radio personality, informally trained for the field, but good at it, versus somebody who's been trained or go and get a degree in broadcast.
That's me.
Yeah, you brought up a wonderful point. Thank you for bringing that up because it's kind of what I want to talk about somewhere in the show. I didn't know where, but now you brought it up. There seems to be an attack on those who are uneducated as well as those who are educated. And let me dig deeper into this.
Okay.
Y'all help me with this, okay? It appears to me, and I see this in church a lot.
Oh God,
yeah, that's
why you see it most. It's a shame.
Yeah,
anyway.
That the ones who are very educated with these theology degrees and all these other PhDs and what have you, they tend to rub it in the faces of those who are not educated. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go full circle.
Go on.
I'm going full circle.
Go on.
They rub it in the ones who are not educated, and as if all people have to have these degrees. Okay, because there's some people who graduated from high school and that's all they needed. They became very successcul. Mm-hmm. Yes. They built the world on a high school diploma
or less.
Okay, they were the presidents. Gates. The presidents of the first few years of our first couple of decades, that is, of America. They were farmers.
Yeah.
Okay, they were not, because usually you have to be a lawyer first.
Nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays.
But never in the origin of this country. No, they were farmers.
Yeah,
they were merchants. They were businessmen, but they were not formally trained like lawyers.
Right. So, and I'm going to do the flip side in a minute. So what happens is the educated would be over the mic and just talking about people, about them not, going to school, doing all these things. And some of the people in that same audience are making more money than them. Okay? All right, now, and then when you flip it, then you got those who are not educated at all. They're like, you uppity, people, you're educated. I don't need that, on and on and on. Okay, so both sides are wrong.
They're the same, actually.
They're actually the same. You're right. Mm-hmm. But then I look at how somebody can have, and I've sat with these people. I don't have a PhD. Okay, I have an associate in accounting. Okay. All right. I hated it. That's why I quit that job. I quit it and became a producer, songwriter, on and on. And I'll get to that in a minute as well. But here I am sitting at a table. I'm a Bible teacher, okay? I'm teaching it. I'm in Sunday school, and I have bishops, pastors, elders, ministers in my class, okay? Some of them are degreed, and they're sitting there every Sunday listening to me teach Bible. I have no degree whatsoever in that field, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm sitting at the table with these PhDs, and I'm listening to some of the things that they're saying about the Bible, and I said to myself, how could you possibly have a degree and give me these answers? They were absolutely wrong. They were wrong. And it's like what who has dictated, who says, who has established that because you have a degree, you're now bona fide, you are now qualified. That means whatever you say is right, and you better listen to me. Like some people who have bishop titles and apostle titles, they say, I'm the anointed, you're not.
That's the norm that has been set, right? Because, well, first of all, those are the same camp of people. They just have different things.
Yeah.
They're immature and insecure. Simply because I'm different or I have something that you don't have, that doesn't make me better than you. That makes me... it just simply means I have something that you don't have,
right,
Right. And anyone who would rub education or a title in someone's face, you're just trying to make yourself feel better.
Yes.
And it's not about the other person. It's totally about you, and that's your stuff.
Yeah.
But society has set this norm where, if you're smart, like me, for instance, I was pretty smart.
I like that.
So I was told from the time I was 3 that I was going to be a physician. You gotta be a doctor. You're so smart. Smart kids become physicians. They become doctors. But I learned when I finished my first degree that people who want to be doctors go to medical school, not just smart people.
Wow.
So there's this norm that's set that says, okay, if you are of a certain level of intelligence, you go and get blah, 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 blah. And then there's this flip side that says, well, if you want to rub shoulders with the intelligent and you want people to really listen to you, you need to have doctor in front of your name and something that ends in a D behind your name.
Right.
So I think that comes from this whole societal norm setting that we buy into. Yeah. Because I know some people with PhDs who are dumb as rocks.
Oh my God.
They're just tenacious or slick.
Hey, and especially in the field of education. Like for me,
oh my God.
I am working on a
doctorate.
dumbest
people are teachers. I'm telling you.
I'm working on a doctorate, and like right now, I'm even questioning, and I'm almost done. Like I'm getting ready to start my dissertation. I'm like, why did I decide to do this? Yeah. So and I guess my exchange is like, okay, I'll get a superintendent's endorsement, and then if I don't finish, it'll be okay. But it'll be okay anyway because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I was good at educating before I got halfway done with the doctorate, But then I guess the question is, what is it about those higher degrees that makes us say, oh, they know, oh, I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it if I, Dr. Alvin as opposed to Tina with no doctorate?
Sure.
I'm going to listen to Dr. Alvin talk about how to transform classroom management as opposed to Miss Tina.
Who does classroom management every day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why?
Right. And this is true. I opened up a recording studio, a couple of them actually. One here in Chicago, one in South Dakota, okay, and one in my home, what have you. So that's what I do. Build recording studios, okay, and people come and they pay me for my services. All right. Now, I didn't go to Full Sail College, which is a huge honor to be a graduate of that school because they graduate and those are the cats who are making these blockbuster films. All right. And into multimedia and what these not cartoons, what they call them now,
graphics,
animation. They are the school for that. Okay, my son enrolled there. Okay, now, but when I opened up my recording studio, it was those students who were sent to my recording studio for me, an untrained engineer and producer,
formerly trained because you were trained.
That's the point I'm trying.
Yeah,
that was my point.
So let me correct that. When I say untrained, I mean by no institution.
Right.
Of no means.
You're not certified, but you're quantified.
The institution that I learned was from the Institute of Hard Knocks. Yes. Okay.
Which is what they're now saying is all education is. Discovery.
That's pretty much what it is. Yes.
They label it discovery, but it's really trial and error.
Come on. So they come in, those kids are coming in my studio and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them study and learn this stuff. I would bring an artist is and I would say, okay, do this project. And I'm sitting to myself, he's doing it all wrong. Who's teaching this boy this? This is wrong. And I realized that I'm on the job all the time. Those guys just textbook.
And you have worked out those kind of the little
kinks.
What you call it? Yeah, the kinks. So you know the nuances of what you're doing.
And know how to prepare.
Exactly.
So far off.
I have a friend who is actually getting a degree in like engineering or whatever, but he does it anyway. And so he says he has to go in and kind of shut the proper way to do things or the most efficient way to do things off to get the grade in school.
No, that's good.
And you learn the school way and you learn the real way.
Right. And my encouragement for those kids who are in that school is that they were teaching me the book sense of what I was doing. I just didn't know what to call it.
That's what I said.
The theory.
They were teaching me this.
Call it a doohickey,
there you go.
The engineer would call it,
Thank you,
whatever.
sir. So we worked perfect together because they was giving me the scientific names of it and the whys of why.
They knew theory and you knew
They were
practice.
giving you the scientific names?
Scientific.
I love it.
I let it pass.
I'm glad you got it.
This
is urban. broadcast media.
Oh, no, you did not.
Yes.
No,
We're coming back to we'll be back with Ebonic Radio. We're gonna play some Helen Reddy. She says, "I am woman."
Hella ready.
Helen Reddy.
Oh, Helen. I thought you said
Yeah,
hello.
no.
Hell, I'm ready.
Helen. You don't love God.
I love God.
I love God. I Am Woman by Helen Reddy from the I Don't Know How to Love Him project, 1972. We're taking it back, y'all. Ooh. So watch the show.
Log on to urbanbroadcastmedia.com and check out the many services Urban Broadcast Media provides. Whether it's social media, video production, radio broadcasting, or audio recording, we got you covered.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that?
It's happening all around the house, right about now.
I'd like a Triscuit.
I'd like a Triscuit.
I'd like a Triscuit. I know my family, and when they'd like a snack, they'd like a Triscuit wafer.
Great with cheese.
Or with a dip.
Neat with jam, or just by themselves. And they really are good. Triscuit wafers, they're made from 100% natural whole wheat, and that's good too.
A Triscuit, baked only by Nabisco.
Danny, sounds like you've accidentally invented a thermochemical energy source.
A scientific wonder becomes a nightmare.
Someone's walking around with enough explosive to turn the city into a pancake.
A power that could mark the beginning of the end for the $6 million man.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Whoa, yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom for the pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you deepen the conviction in my soul. Oh, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom for the pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible.
following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries. Thank you for listening to UBM Praise.
Hi ho and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Ladies, it's Tuesday. Pink Perspectives on the Sir Walter Jones Show, right here on UBM Praise.
Hey, this is Julie Norwood with 60 seconds of cool inspiration for your day. In our current Western, fast-paced, over-obligated society, one thing we really try to avoid at any cost is waiting. We will avoid waiting by going to the extremes of not having to wait. There's things we could be doing, places we could be going, and people we could be talking to. Besides, there's an app for that. No, there's not. Waiting develops you. Believe it or not, what you're waiting for, you may not be ready to handle. So we have to wait. Much like when you're cooking dinner and you put the roast into the oven. As that wait progresses, your impatience wants to speed things up. But the truth is, if you took that roast out too soon, it wouldn't be as flavorful and tender as it would be if you left it in there and just waited. There's purpose in the wait. That's 60 seconds of cool inspiration with Julie Norwood. For more inspiration, check out my webpage, julienorwood.com. God loves you, and He has an awesome plan for your life.
That's right, Julie Norwood, julienorwood.com. Wait, and again I say, wait on the Lord.
Wait on the roast?
Wait on the roast.
Wait on it, huh?
Wait.
And put the down, hold on a minute.
Oh,
yeah.
It come out after a while.
Yeah. Just
sound
wait.
like an old dirty deacon.
That's yep.
Deacon do dirty. That's my name.
He's Baptist. He's straight Baptist. Yeah, there's the people who don't go to school because they're afraid of the extended time they have to wait for that degree. So some educational programs, it takes 4 years, 6 years, and on up. And they says, I don't have that much life
I went
to
back
give.
when I found an accelerated program.
Yep, there you go.
An accelerated program worked for me.
Yeah.
I just like school.
Yeah.
See, some people are just career students.
I'm not going to be. I know I'm not. I will not be a career student in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But I don't know. I really enjoy school.
Yeah.
And but I don't look down on someone who does not.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm tired of my friends telling me I need to be done with school. So
I'm
don't
Fanny
look down
Dooley.
on me.
I may be dating myself. I'm Fanny Dooley. I love learning, but I hate school.
What do you hate about school? I
hate the bureaucracy, the bondage that's labeled as structure. I hate the unnecessary fees and costs, and sometimes it's the crowd.
Okay.
For me, but I love learning. I love engaging in a discussion, the discovery through trial and error, as well as the listening to someone's experience, and it imparts to me.
So can we agree that not all learning occurs in school?
Most of my learning didn't occur in school,
Well, yeah.
but it came to the surface in school
Got it.
to quantify what I had already known.
Okay.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned that I said.
His doohickeys versus the scientific terms.
The mothers, the aunties, some of the sisters in our lives, they taught us because we couldn't go. Some of us can't go to school.
School boring.
Yeah, because of obligations and finance and what have you, they just can't go.
And so, that's I think that's a key to kind of like what we're talking about today, or we're getting to today. As to the whole, are women more educated than men?
Sure,
because it may be a question of access.
Absolutely.
But are men don't have access to school?
Well, access in that, excuse me. I know of several young men who were in college, but
couldn't
teen
continue.
Pregnancy happened.
They got pregnant?
No, they got somebody pregnant.
I'm teasing.
And they were, there was his man.
There was his man.
So they got someone pregnant. They had to come home.
Well, his name Bruce.
They had to come home and, get a job and take care of the family. The young lady the mother had an opportunity to go and finish her degree, but they did not. So when I say access, I mean, because of that. There are several programs in the last couple of decades. There was a surge in federal funds earmarked for women to go into higher education, into STEM fields, STEAM fields, all this stuff. Yeah, you know about STEAM, don't you?
STEAM.
STEAM. Yeah. So that money was there, and so I can make time for a free education. Yeah. As opposed to taking out student loans and having to work and pay. So those things also I think contributed to the decrease or the increase in women going to school and getting these degrees.
Then the type of education, because you have a lot of men who you'll find more men in technical post-education institutions than you will in the colleges, or men who, depending upon what they major in. Men have a hard time sitting listening to a lecture.
Right.
But if you put them in a situation like a shop, or put them in hands-on training.
Right.
But see, those degrees, they don't come as easily or as fluid as in other areas because they haven't structured them so. So if there was more PhDs offered in mechanics, which you don't need a PhD in mechanics because that's called engineering, but it's really a mechanic. I learned that from watching Iron Man.
But still, but
the engineering degrees, it would take that man who is far more tenacious than the one who says, "I'm doing what I love to do already. I don't need no more education."
Right, because that's when you get into your higher degrees, like your terminal degrees, PhDs and EDDs. You get into the theory and the research behind why something is happening, as opposed to the practice of something.
Yes.
And I get that. And also some research, they don't include technical degrees because they're like associates or whatever.
It's relatively new.
They don't include those in the statistics. They do bachelor's degrees and higher.
Yes.
So really, we may be missing an entire population of men who have degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's good. I'm going to play a clip further down in the show why women make less on the job than men do. Okay, so y'all don't want to go nowhere. There's a very educational clip about why women make less, even though they went to they work in the same job, and it's you guys are answering the question. Actually, we did a show about black dads in the lives of their children, and it is statistically proven by the Pew Research that black men are more present in their children's lives more than any other race in the world.
That's right.
And that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, you guys have been bombarded with all this bad information and thinking that the more things change, the more they stay the same. As far as you thinking that the 70s and the 80s is still the same way in the black family. That's not true. A lot of black men, although you see a lot of them on the street corner and they're hooked on drugs, or they're homosexuals, or they are in jail, you say, well, they're not in the home. Well, they don't actually need to be in the home with the mom. They have their own places of dwelling, and they bring the kids over to their houses, or they go visit the child somewhere else, but they're still in those children's lives. So as it pertains to women in education, and I'm liking what Sharon put on here. She says, however, there are a certain career paths that require degrees, and there are certain skill levels and knowledge that are obtained through higher learning. And she's correct in today's sense, because again, we have men and women in Congress and senators, what have you, who don't have degrees. They old as dirt, because when they got in the game, they didn't need the degree.
You still don't need them.
Yeah, you still don't need them by law.
But there are some careers in which they count experience more than formal education, because it's the experience and the practice that you need to be successful in some of those careers.
Sure. Yeah.
So I get it. And I'm anticipating the clip that you're speaking of about the disparity in salary.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because,
and it's in every area.
Yeah. And when you hear it, you're going to be split on it. Some women are not going to agree with it, but it's an amazing research. Principal Keita put here: humility speaks through your education. A person does not need to boast or brag about how educated they are. Their life will reflect who they are. many times people who are insecure need to boast about their education. I think you meant something like that, Tina, in order to make themselves feel better. Education is power, but we need to remember, as King Solomon said, in all thy getting, get understanding.
And there's another side to that. There are a lot of people who are very educated, but they are underemployed. When you look at their Alvin raises.
Yeah.
Me too. When you look at, the amount of education and understanding and knowledge and skill
and experience
that they have, they're they're underemployed. So sometimes you need to speak about your education. And I know that that's not what she's talking about. She's talking about boasting and you lead with, I'm Dr.
Dr. Reverend.
Whatever. You bought that degree.
Right, because that's it. You paid for it. Or somebody paid for it for you.
No, literally.
Oh, you're talking about those honorary degrees.
And some of the
and
stuff
online,
dishonorable degrees.
You get, somebody just showed me, they inboxed me, $50 will get you a bishop's degree online. Oh yeah,
really?
Oh yeah,
I'm so sick.
Yeah,
that was on Sanford Sam.
Yeah,
Bishop Dion.
Bishop Dion.
Bishop Dion.
Bishop Dion. Feel good. But I will say that you're absolutely right. People sometimes they come on my show, they hear my show, they hear me preach or they hear me teaching around the country, and if the first thing they ask me is, "What school did you graduate from?" They automatically think that I have a PhD. Automatically, okay, and you got one.
Power to handle the devil.
Come on, there you go. Yeah. And I usually change the subject because I don't want to get caught, because what they're doing is they're vetting you in a sense.
Vetting you.
Yeah,
they're trying to categorize you. They're going to try and see whose names you're going to drop, because then they want to use you to get to somebody else if you have.
Well, see, also, like, I travel a lot training. I do teacher training and professional development. So they ask me, "Oh, so when did you get your doctorate?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't have one."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really?
Really?
Like,
Why
okay, so does that change the fact that
you
just gave me all fives on this evaluation because you enjoyed this session? Like, does that change that? But it does. What happens is that people look at education and look at, like, I'm rubbing elbows with Dr. So-and-so, Dr. So-and-so. That's going to make me go further and, further my career. I'm going to network and all this stuff. But when you take all of that away, you can learn something from somebody who finished 8th grade.
Yes.
Somebody who has 12 PhDs and somebody who can barely read and write.
Yes.
Because everybody has something to give. All of us have knowledge and skill that we can impart to people.
Yeah. I've learned more from a man who was considered legally illiterate.
Yep, me too.
Who had a stuttering problem.
Yep.
But all the skills that I learned from him, I was able to apply and transfer in almost every area of my life.
Absolutely. Yeah, right.
No.
Shut up.
He told me very well what was
Stop,
going on.
Alvin. That is not nice.
I'm sensitive to those people. Stop. Here, Buddy Gill says, I work at an institution of higher learning. He says, I work in the graduate school where grad students, at Dion teaches Buddy Gill's son. And he says, I work in the graduate school where grad students spend an average of 6 years working to get their doctorate degrees in science field. One day, one day off my coworker says to me, I finally figured it out. I know what the acronym of PhD is. And he said permanent head damage. Okay. Yeah, and I bumped into this stuff all the time. I talk to some of the most naive people in the world who are well degreed people with stripes all on their chest. And I say to myself, you know what? It's fine. I think education is absolutely wonderful, or I wouldn't have spent so many years in it. Okay, but then when you can't apply that to real life situations because you don't want to, because all education you can apply to real life, but many of them don't want to.
But that's a skill as well, though. Some of them don't know how to.
Application is so different than information.
It really is. Some people just because
you're right. But I think some of them don't want to.
I would agree with that. Don't want to. But then there's this camp of individuals who really they don't have those skills. Like they have to be taught how
to do everything,
to apply
That's
information.
Why they're in school.
I'm serious.
For validation. Some people are in school. They make careers out of it because of validation. They need it.
And some people, the way they operate, the way they're wired, they need to be told step by step. They have no intuition.
Absolutely.
They have no, You just got to tell them what to do.
You do. It says, despite the misconceptions and stereotypes about African American women, we are making great strides in education. In addition to half of all black women ages 18 to 24 pursuing higher degrees, black women are beating out all other groups, no matter the race or gender, when it comes to overall college enrollment. According to the data, 9.7% of black women are enrolled in college. Asian women are second, with 8.7% working towards degrees, followed by Asian men at 8.4%, white women 7.1%, black men 7.0%, Hispanic women 6.6%, white men 6.1%, and Hispanic men at 5.9%. White men are almost at the very bottom. Ain't that something?
They don't need it.
Exactly. This I'm sorry. This country was founded on and still operates within a system of white male privilege. Period.
Yep.
So I don't need a PhD, but I can be your boss.
That's right. And they become our bosses. Absolutely. There's so many divisions that happen within.
I'll buy you because you know more than me.
Yeah, well, of course. Because
I'll buy you.
Yeah, because I'm white, I'm automatically looked to as the boss. You know, I go out with my friends sometimes. We at the dinner table. One white guy is is at the table with all my black friends. Okay, I think y'all know where I'm going here. And when the waitress or waiter, server, okay, when we order our food, and when she brings the check, who does she always give it to? Because he is the boss.
I have one better for you. So in my dealing, I train teachers.
You said that enough, okay?
And no, what I'm saying is, shut up. And so, one of my teachers and I were somewhere. We went to a meeting, and she happens to be Caucasian.
Yeah.
And we walked in, and this person at this meeting walked up to her and said, "Oh, hi. Are you here to present?" Now, both of us are standing here. She totally addressed her, and I'm just invisible. And my teacher was like, "Oh, no, actually, I'm here to assist my
teacher, right.
my instructional coach here. She's here to present." And the lady was like, "Oh." So it's stuff like that. We have been socialized to believe that if you are Caucasian, that you are automatically more skilled, more educated, and have a higher whatever it is.
True.
As opposed to someone, a person of color.
Yeah.
And, it's just we see it on TV. We get inundated with it, and it's up to us to stop that. It's just no, we call people out on it. Absolutely not. That was inappropriate. You should not make those assumptions or have those preconceived notions when it comes to people. You don't know me.
Right.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
What's wrong with you people?
You're educated.
No, I had to separate myself from Alvin the teacher. He be trying to come for me. So that's why I said, I'm no longer in the formal classroom.
I see.
Hey, making me feel bad.
No, go to Angry Black Man clip.
I'll make you feel bad.
My man.
Maybe Deacon Do Dirty, but I'm Dr. Feel Good.
Wow.
I don't know. I've learned to ignore my co-hosts.
That was subliminal educational communication.
So I have some statistics here as well, stats.
Oh, there you
statistics.
Go. Data.
We're going to play it after the break at 5 o'clock. But give me that Angry Black Man. Right now. Shut him up, please.
It's not possible.
You know what one of the most annoying things are to me? It is so annoying to hear a dude talk about his ex, maybe his wife or his girlfriend, but in his voice you can hear that he is jealous of her and he's hating on her. Now I made the last video, man, a lot of dudes took that the wrong way, and I knew they was going to take it the wrong way because they, like a lot of females, want to point blame on someone else. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves, so they got to blame somebody else or take credit for something that they didn't do or they had nothing to do with. For example, I heard this dude talking about, I guess, his ex yesterday, and he was, talking about how no good she was and how lousy, and was trying to figure out or trying to bring up all her faults or things that he may perceive as faults. And then while he's trying to tear her down, he says, "Yeah, she got a degree, but you know what? She ain't gonna make it. She gonna fail." So he's hoping and praying that this female fails because she don't want him. Okay, now, really don't know what went on in a relationship, but you can hear so much hate and jealousy, and that's the way it is with a lot of black men, is the fact that they are jealous and they're hating on their women because their women really don't need them. They went to school, they got their education, they got their degrees, they have good jobs, they have their own house, their own car, they pay their own rent, their own bills. They really don't need you for anything, okay? And you know that they don't need you for anything. And because of that, you try to tear them down. You hate on them. You despise them with a passion. And then you have these dudes, man, that try to take credit for these women getting their degrees or education. Yeah, if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't have that degree because I helped her get the degree. How you help her get the degree, man, and you ain't got no job? How you help her get a degree and you don't have a degree? You don't have anything going for yourself. She's sending you care packages up to prison, and you trying to control her from behind bars, telling her what you want. You trying to demand what she want. You know what? If that was me, you wouldn't get nothing, bruh. Telling you. Because how you going to try to demand this female, man, and she's hooking you up for you making stupid mistakes, you behind bars, and now you trying to control her from behind the scenes. How does that sound? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? And then you want to try to hate on her because of the fact that she's educated or that she really don't need you. And see, that's the issue that a lot of black men or black males have with black women, is the fact that you cannot control her. You can't compete with her because you made mistakes, you made bad choices in your life. And while you were making your bad choices and your bad decisions and your mistakes and whatnot, she was busy sacrificing her time, bettering herself in her life. So now you need her to support you. You want to drive her car. You want to live in her house, eat her food, suck up her heat, use her utilities, and then talk about you the man. How you the man? And you have nothing to offer her what? Sex? She can get that anywhere. She don't even need you for that. She can get her toys and do that. She can go on a sex website, man, and buy her toys and play with them. She don't need you.
Oh, no.
See? So that's what a lot of black men hate about black females, is the fact that black women now are more independent and they don't need you. See, you can't sit there and, you know, kind of like wave, you know, food or money in her face, tell them about, I'm not going to pay your bills if you don't do what I tell you. See, you can't control her now with substance. You can't control her with money. You can't control her by telling her, I pay the bills. You get out if you don't like what's going on. She has the power to do that now. And a lot of black men that don't like that. See? So, brothers, stop hating on these women, man. If anything, you should do what they do and get what they got. If you feel that you're the man, do better than what they do. Don't hate on her. Especially if you ain't doing nothing for yourself. So feedback this video. Tell me what you think. Till next time.
Yep, that's from a black man who, yeah, he fearless. He ain't scared. Now, he don't represent all black men. No, he do not. But he do represent quite a few, because I've bumped into some of these guys who are intimidated by their educated woman that they have, and it's not justified whatsoever. Get off your lazy butt and do something with your life. Yeah. Stop gleaning off of her and robbing her of everything that she has, because she trying to take care of your lazy butt.
She needs to start taking care of her.
Well, that's the truth. I'm talking to him now. Yeah. Y'all talk to her after the show, after the break. Okay, get up off your lazy do nothing and stop being a statistic, as the word she was trying to say earlier, and do something with your life. Now, I'm going to break here, but we want to also focus on those who have the ability to create jobs, to create an educational platform also for people. Let's talk about this after the break, because many of us have the ability to educate other people, and we're not doing it. I want to hear. I think I want to hear Whitney Houston's version of "I'm Every Woman." Let's hear that one. I like her version because she said "Shaka Shaka." 1978, written by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. Ashford and Simpson. Whitney Houston's version, 1993. I'm Every Woman. So Walter Jones Show.
Broadcasting all over the world at urbanbroadcastmedia.com. Delivering love and inspiration 24/7. This is UBM Praise.
Can you sing the alphabet, Joey?
Yes, I could.
Let's hear you sing the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Cookie Monster.
You're not singing the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R,
Cookie
S.
Monster.
Cookie Monster isn't the letter of the alphabet. It goes Q, R, S, T, U, V. You're just teasing me. W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs.
Next time Cookie Monster.
Next time Cookie Monster can do it with you. I'm leaving.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks.
Oh.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, anything you want done, baby, I'll do it naturally. 'Cause I'm every woman, it's all in me.
following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries. Thank you for listening to UBM Praise.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hi, this is James Morton, and this is Black and Married with Kids presents Truth You Won't Believe. This is a continuation from episode 2, and I don't want to get...
It's Tuesday. Pink Perspectives on the Sir Walter Jones Show, right here on UBM Praise.
Yeah, I am every woman. It's only me.
Do not ever say that again in life.
Shaka! Hey,
I said I'm every woman.
Hey, Tina.
Hey.
You gave me a testimony. We were sitting there having dinner, just enjoying each other's company and talking about shows that we probably can bring out.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me you was a preemie.
I was.
You was a preemie. You moved to Chicago only about 10 years ago. You come from Mississippi.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's what I know.
My neck of the woods. Okay,
Yeah, I'm Bell's
up down there. And yeah.
Really?
I went to Humphreys County High School.
What? I taught at Humphreys County High School.
How you doing, D? You doing all right, D?
Oh, sorry.
Life is good. Good.
That
good.
explains the whole.
Yeah. Where you from? You from
I'm on
Texas?
Central. I used to live on Central Street.
You
2
from
blocks from the
Southside?
school, baby.
Oh, live north. Okay, you from North Side? Yeah, I'm from the
McGee,
West
my
Side.
bad.
West Side, baby. West Side. You was North Avenue. Okay. Because these Negroes here
I know
from
Alvin
Mississippi.
folks, but anyway,
You know my
Negroes.
people?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Negroes. Yeah, African
Okay, and
American Negroes.
and you were saying
I'm colored. So, I'm going back
you
to
said
the
you
old
drunk.
days.
I mean, colored.
Yeah, so, and then you moved here from Chicago, from Mississippi.
Yes.
And now, education. Why do you feel that was so important for you to delve into that? Because you not only delve into it as a student, then you went back to it as a teacher.
Yes.
Why?
Well, in my house, it was 9 of us.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have 8 siblings.
I
and
didn't.
my mother, my father was not formally educated.
Mm-hmm.
He was blue collar. And my mother dropped out of elementary school, but went back, got a GED, went on to college. But it was a given in our house. Just like you were breathing, you were going to graduate from high school.
Good stuff.
Because that's just what she believed in.
Yeah.
And so I was really good at school. So it was like, why not keep going? Especially, I got scholarships and stuff. But what happened that I became attracted to being an educator is that there was something that happened when I saw people get it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm teaching you something, I used to tutor.
That's the greatest
I never
feeling.
forget. I tutored like organic chemistry and a couple of other classes.
Such a nerd.
And I am a nerd. Yay! And I was in the dorm, in the lobby of the dorm, and I was helping somebody. We were working on enantiomers. It's like isomers or whatever. I never forget this. But he was like, and just that pause, something happened in me. Like something just was sparked, and I wanted to relive that over and over again. Oh. So, and it was just like, you got it. And it made me feel
right.
so
You got it.
But I did not change my major or anything. So I did complete my degrees. I was pre-med.
Okay.
But then, it's just like, I don't want to go to medical school right now. Let me teach. And so I went in without being formally trained as an educator, taught my first year as a 7th grade science and health teacher. But it was just, when I got into the classroom, they gave me a plan book and a teacher's edition and said, go teach, make them learn.
Exactly.
But it was just something. The first 2 weeks I cried every day.
Yeah.
And then my first lady at my church, she was like, girl, just pray and allow the Lord to just lead you. And I promise, I began to just really seek God because it was my passion. It's what I wanted to do. I had a desire for my students to learn and to know that they had a right to be taught by somebody who believed that they could learn. And that's important because kids pick up on that. People pick up on that. If you believe in what you're doing, and if you believe that they're able to grasp what you're doing, so after that, it's just like, okay, I can do this. Middle school wasn't for me, so I quit. But high school was my niche, high school and college. And so it was like, I want to further my education. I want to be better so that I can help those that I'm training and teaching be better, which is why I'm still pursuing education.
Yes.
Because I want to make sure that I'm able to impart knowledge And that seed that I sow, it's from a good source, you know,
Yes.
because you can sow some seed that's rotten, and it's it is not going to, it's not going to harvest you anything. Yeah. But the thing about it is, I want to make sure that the seeds that I sow in education in every realm, that they're good and that they have a solid foundation, that I know what I'm talking about, not just from being in school, but also from sitting at the feet of people who have more experience, not necessarily more education, and learning from people. When you feel like you can't learn anything from anybody, you may as well just crawl up in a hole and die.
Yeah. Cease to exist. Now that's so encouraging. I wanted you to give us your testimony on education, because there's so many women out there who they feel like, okay, I'm old. It's too late. I got kids. Someone said I'm on public aid. I don't have time to do any of this and that. And then you have the other sisters who I want to read from my good friend, Beverly Parker-Greer, who is a really close friend of mine from South Dakota. All right. And she's an African American. So, it's only about three of us down in South Dakota.
Maybe I should go over there.
About three of us. About three of us. Okay, and it's a military town because the Air Force Base is there, so that's why you see black people there. That's the only reason why you see them there, because they're transient and what have you. And some of them just they raised families and they stayed. Okay, well hers was So one her parents are products of that. But she always believed in education. So I hit her up yesterday and asked her some questions, because this woman right here was one of the women that really taught me the importance of education. Okay? The importance of education and how far you can go in it, and don't be afraid of it. I think a lot of us are afraid of education, so we don't go into it. We just figured, well, I got a high school diploma. I'm going to do okay. I'm just going to go and get a blue-collar job and just settle and raise my family and die. Okay.
Because they're afraid of failure.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So she says, my philosophy is, if you want to call it, if that's what you want to call it, she says, is that we are limited by ourselves. Regardless of race, age, gender, or even financial standings. If you want something, education or whatever, the sky's the limit. I even believe there's a song to that effect that we sing in church. So if you can think, you can have it. It's yours. Education isn't a cure-all, but it makes lots of things happen in life. I'm living proof of that. Can't imagine not being educated and struggling, is what she said. I've had a very good and comfortable life, and I'm not rich, but I always have money to do things I want and to help my son. And I have passed that ideology unto my son. I won't always be here, but with God's provision and his education, she says her son will go far. Now, Beverly Parker, these are not just words that she was just typing to me. I know her work. Okay, she traveled around the world, lived in Spain and lived in Germany and lived in France. Okay, and she learned how to speak fluent Spanish and fluent French.
Conversational, like culture.
Let me tell you how fluent it is. Right. I love that. She's our age. Okay. So when people look at her, she will go over to France and begin to speak like the natives. Is that what you call them?
Indigenous people.
And they will always ask her, what area were you born? Because she speaks so much like them. She doesn't speak like an American who learned the language and came over there to show off. Right. And right. She do have an accent, meaning she has a French accent.
Right. She doesn't have, when someone speaks English, you can tell they don't speak it because they have an accent.
Absolutely. And she does it over in Spain as well. They're like, how are you able to do that? You're black. You're from America. How are you speaking like us? It's like, and one of my greatest opportunities with her is when we went to McDonald's downtown Chicago. Okay. There were Hispanics working they were the clerks or whatever you call them, the cashiers. Okay, and we were ordering some food, and we might have been the only black couple. So there were other whites there because we up north, what they call it, Gold Coast.
Yeah, okay, you the Gold Coast,
Gold Coast. Yeah.
So, the rock and roll.
No, not that rock and roll. The one on Michigan Avenue, further north. Okay. Yeah. So we ordered food, and number 5. I said number 6. Okay.
Numero 5.
Yeah. So she ordered it in English. And we sitting there talking, and then the workers in the back started saying something derogatory in their language.
She understood it.
And she looked at me. She says, "Walter." I said, "What?" She says, "They called us a name." I said, "How do you know?" And then I said, "Oh, that's right. You're Spanish." She said, "Yeah." I get really excited. Okay, I get so excited.
Keep talking, y'all. Keep talking.
Yeah, I get so excited because I know. Also, she's a black woman.
She can still roll her neck, snap her fingers,
come on now,
and put some Vaseline on her face.
Oh yeah. And she's a decent woman. She won't make a scene in public. So, yeah. We
talk about that roast in that oven. Let it sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
See, JulieKnowwood.com says wait, and again I say.
Oh, no.
Matter of fact, I'm going to pour it real slow just so you can't wait. Okay, all right.
Oh, they're just mistreating me today. I'm not coming back. This is my last day.
Yes, sir.
Baby,
okay.
Come back.
So anyway, Beverly says they give us the order, and Beverly looks at her, and she says something in Spanish. And I'm like cracking up inside. And the looks on those clerks.
Oh, I love it when
they was like, oh, they did that because they realized
she understood.
She understood. And she should have had the courage to say it in English.
There you go.
That's why you shouldn't talk about people in any language.
You never know. You never know.
I have that experience often because I teach Spanish. I mean, Spanish-speaking kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll say something I said, and I'll say it back in English. And before long, every fourth grader will know Mr. Carter speaks Spanish. Mr. Carter understands Spanish.
Wow.
Because I don't speak it as well as I understand it.
Let's play that clip about, let's see, what am I calling it? Do women make less? I don't know if that's what I call it. I got to...
Yeah, that's what you got. Women earn less.
Yeah. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to the content of what he's saying.
You want us to play close attention?
Okay. If you keep correcting me on my show.
because you said statistics. I mean, said I didn't say
I didn't say statistics. You said statistics. I said, what was the word I used? No. What was the one I said earlier?
Forgot all about it, brother. Love, couple of multitude of sins.
If a brother been taken in the fault,
that's right.
You were educational. Restore.
That's right.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yes. You know what? Oh, help me, Jesus.
Okay, all right. I'm sipping tea. And,
I'm afraid for you.
I might have to put some gin in it. Hey, so if you got,
that's nasty.
If you get that is nasty, ain't it? If you got that file, okay. I want you to pay and play close attention to this because I need you to agree or disagree with it. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Should I take notes?
Yeah, you might want to. And now, heresy is on the way.
Another contemporary economic myth is that women make 75 cents for every dollar men make because they're discriminated against in labor markets. Like other myths, this does have a kernel of truth to it. So for example, if you add up all the incomes of women and divide by the number of women in the labor force, and then do the same thing for men, what you'll find is on average, women do make about 75% of what men do. What's happening here is not discrimination in the labor market, but differences in the choices that men and women make about investing in their knowledge, their education, their skills, and their job experience that lead to them getting paid different salaries. Economists talk about people's human capital. And by human capital, we mean the knowledge, the skills, the education, and the job experience that people have. And economics argues that people get paid wages according to that human capital. It turns out that men and women invest very differently in their human capital. And we can see that in 4 different ways. First of all, educational choices. Men, for example, tend to go into fields like engineering. Women tend to go into social sciences, into psychology, into nursing. And so where men are making higher salaries as engineers or perhaps in the business world, women tend to end up in jobs for which their salaries are somewhat lower. So even though they may have the same years of schooling, the different choices they've made about their majors lead to them working in different areas and getting paid differently. Secondly, men and women have different expectations about work. For example, if women expect down the road to take time off to raise children, they'll make different choices today about what kinds of skills they acquire than if they imagine they'll be working full-time for the rest of their lives. And we know historically that many women in the 1960s and 70s didn't imagine that they would be working full-time at age 40 and ended up making choices that led them to have jobs when they were working at age 40 that didn't pay as well as they might have otherwise. Younger women today, of course, are more likely to imagine themselves working at age 40 and therefore make different investments today. Another difference between men and women is full versus part-time work. Women are much more likely than men to work part-time. Men are more likely to work full-time. And part-time work, even for the same kinds of jobs, tends to pay less than full-time work. And women tend to prefer part-time work more than men because women still tend to take on the majority of the responsibility for children in the home. Finally, men and women differ in terms of their tenure on a job or the way in which their careers get interrupted. If it's the case that women take time off from the workforce to raise children, that will have an impact on their salaries down the road. So when we put these four things together, what we get is that the difference between men and women's pay is not a result of labor market discrimination, but of the choices that men and women make before they enter the labor market or even when they're in the labor market about the kinds of jobs they want to have and the way they want to balance family and work. Studies that have tried to control for all these factors have shown that if you take a man and a woman, same experience, same education, same job, and compare their salaries, what you find is that women make about 98% of what men do. So that gender wage gap pretty much disappears. And in some jobs, women actually make more. Now, it might well be the case that women are being discriminated against or that sexism is a problem in the choices that women make. For example, girls are guided away from math classes and guided into other kinds of classes. It's also certainly the case that our expectations about women's roles versus caring for children in the household and men's roles about caring for children in the household are very different. And if we think those are poor choices, if we want to see women's pay more equal to men, what we need to do is convince more women to go into areas such as the sciences and mathematics and engineering, and we need to convince men to take more responsibility for children in the house. When those begin to even out, we'll see wages begin to even out as well. But in the meantime, whatever choices men and women make, the wages they're paid in the market will reflect the productivity associated with those choices and are not the result of discrimination.
And there you have it. That's an interesting study. And again, it could be debated on both sides. I don't
know. He brought a very strong argument to me.
I think 90% from my ears is very strong. It's just, again, some of it I know without even talking to a woman that it will be debated. Because
a woman said what he said to that thing.
Absolutely. If a woman said it'd be different, and I do know that just for the same reason why there's marching and tearing up the streets, because black people are tearing up the streets. Oh, it's different than if white folk was tearing up the streets. We'll look to it as the lynch mob because we're doing it, but they're looked to as a protesters.
Yes.
Okay, and so again, it's all
different reasons.
Yeah, for different reasons. It's all perception.
The Orioles won the World Series.
Yeah,
they tore up the streets.
Or not.
Yeah,
you
or
know.
not. That's true. Or not. They were torn up regardless.
And if they were college kids, they're just being children. You know, that's what they do in college. But
yeah. So he talked about the human capital, investing in the human capital. Yeah, which is very important.
Big letter.
Yeah. So I think he's right to say that women do. Either they choose or they encourage to choose jobs that are more subservient, submissive in a sense, because men look at these jobs now as just like we do Hispanics who take these jobs that we will not take.
Well, yeah, period. You know, gainfully employed is gainfully employed, but we have to be careful how data is presented.
Yes, because I can take.
What he did was he brought all the variables into play, and he basically laid it out,
right,
and helped it make sense.
Sure.
It's true. You went into a field that don't pay as much as this field.
Right.
So you working and he working. He just making more because he's in a different field.
Sure.
Now, if you can compare that to two engineers, male, female.
Absolutely.
Then it's a better argument.
And he mentioned that at the beginning of, he says
there is some nugget of truth to it. He said.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It's more than some nugget of truth to it. Like there is.
I could say in education, women make more money than men do.
I don't agree with that. I doubt that.
I can prove it.
Please do.
Show me your check. I'll show you.
But again, but we're in two fields. We're in two different fields, like education, but we do two different things. I'm not in the classroom. So, you know, but if we were in the classroom, that would be different. Maybe because I'm better. Anyway,
I agree.
But like, it has been proven, and statistics exist that show that women and men who are in the same field and who work the same jobs, and sometimes at the same company, they're not paid the same.
Mm-hmm, sure.
You know, that there is a disparity that exists.
Right.
But he made a very good point that talked about how young girls are steered into fields that are not STEM related a lot.
Good.
And it can
Okay,
also,
when she says STEM, people, she's saying
science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I'm sorry.
And then if she says STEAM, they're just putting the letter A in there, talking about arts or agriculture.
No, that's good, because I'm glad you brought that, because I didn't even know that.
So,
and I'm the most educated man in this room.
Yes,
Go ahead.
you are.
Yeah.
So what happens is, like, if we look at the gender of most math, science, technology, engineering teachers in high school and in college, it's predominantly male.
Because all the women are in the lower grades teaching it.
Exactly. But what it does is
fear. Because when I talk to them, they are afraid of the bigger kids.
Yes.
So
I mean, I can buy that.
So,
and that's,
I just think the smaller kids will be easy. I'm telling y'all, go to high school. That's what I would tell them.
And so, but what happens is that it sends a message to young ladies. All of my teachers are male. So then, okay, well, that's that's men.
I was just at the NSTA conference.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many women there. It was more women than men at this conference. So much so, we were just outnumbered. If the world had ended and we would have been the ones left there. Woo.
I mean, but there has been a shift in the last couple of decades, because if you think about, again, the federal monies that have been earmarked for women to go into these fields, from everything to paying for bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and there are even PhD programs.
Because I started doing Bruce Jenner and get me a free degree.
That's wrong. But you know,
if you're already a third degree.
Actually,
but
higher than that.
But
okay,
what happens? Oh gosh! But what happens though is when we do this, there's a shift that takes place.
When we do what?
So when we earmark funds and for certain groups of people, to get certain degrees, it creates this shift, right? So there has to be a balance there.
Gotcha.
So now we have more women who are engineers and who are mathematicians and physicists and all this stuff. But again, there's a disparity in the salary, but not in the workload.
Oh,
because sometimes we have to work more. We work longer hours. We work harder, but we don't get those promotions. We don't get those raises, and it can stem from sometimes women don't feel that they can advocate for more money.
Yeah,
because I haven't had to take off for maternity leave because I'm having kids, but there's that maternity leave thing, and so then, well, you have a family now. You can't be as available. Those are the lies that they tell. Yeah. So, or the justifications that they give for having this disparity, or for the reason that this disparity exists. So I agree with some of the stuff that he said, but no.
It was in the contract.
You're right.
It was in the contract?
Yeah, absolutely. And Tremenda is saying, she says women definitely don't make more money than men in the same position in the corporate environment. That's not really debatable. It is a proven fact. And again, he said that at the beginning of his clip, and you guys have co-signed it as well. But the variables that he brought out in that 4-minute clip is very important to look at. Y'all don't want to look at it. You don't want to hear it.
Y'all stuck on the little nugget of truth as opposed to
the
whole rock of evidence.
Absolutely.
I said I agree.
Not you.
Oh.
Yeah. But a woman will say, yeah, but he still make $5 more than me. Okay, but did you hear any of the other stuff? That they said?
No, because they want to be right.
Yeah.
That's why they're more educated than we are, because they want to be right.
We leave that alone.
They were more articulate.
They
want to be considered more accurate.
Hey, Sharinda, I love you, girl. I'm just cracking up here. Hey, I'm gonna hear some CeCe Winans.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's saying always sisters, always friends. This is the song I want y'all to listen to, young ladies out there, because y'all always stepping on each other's toes and y'all don't talk to each other for 6 months later. What's wrong with you? Y'all, come on, can't we all just get along?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's just get along. And we'll come back and find out about why is it that women who are educated are now marrying men who are not educated. They're settling. So watch the show.
Log on to urbanbroadcastmedia.com and check out the many services Urban Broadcast Media provides. Whether it's social media, video production, radio broadcasting, or audio recording, we got you covered.
Hey, this is Julie Norwood with 60 seconds of cool inspiration for your day. In our current Western, fast-paced, over-obligated society, one thing we really try to avoid at any cost is waiting. We will avoid waiting by going to the extremes of not having to wait. There's things we could be doing, places we could be going, and people we could be talking to. Besides, there's an app for that. No, there's not. Waiting develops you. Believe it or not, what you're waiting for, you may not be ready to handle. So we have to wait. Much like when you're cooking dinner and you put the roast into the oven. As that wait progresses, your impatience wants to speed things up. But the truth is, if you took that roast out too soon, it wouldn't be as flavorful and tender as it would be if you left it in there and just waited. There's purpose in the wait. That's 60 seconds of cool inspiration with Julie Norwood. For more inspiration, check out my webpage, julienorwood.com. God loves you, and He has an awesome plan for your life.
Introducing the Kodak Instant Camera with a twist. Meet the Crank.
Can you feel a brand new day?
Imagine instant pictures with color. Color by Kodak. Just crank, 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 and in minutes you get bright, colorful, instant pictures with a textured satin luxe finish. See your photo dealer and shake hands with the Crank, the Kodak Instant Camera with a twist.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Almond Joy's got real milk chocolate, coconut and munchy nuts too. Mounds got deep dark chocolate and chewy coconut. Ooh. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Peter Paul, Almond Joy's got nuts, Peter Paul, Mounds don't. Because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yes! The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries. Thank you for listening to UBM Praise.
Ladies, it's Tuesday. Pink Perspectives on the Sir Walter Jones Show. Right here on UBM Praise.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
At this time, I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation, a great dedicated man, a philosopher of a non-violent system of behavior.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Politics, doctrine, current events. Let's meet at the Controversy Corner on the Sir Walter Jones Show here on UBM Praise.
Hello. Keep It Real Carter is indisposed at the moment, and he's been replaced by Matriculation Aloysius. And I'm here to debate the discussion of whether or not women are more educated. Women may have quantifiable more time in the academic arena. However, men are smarter. Why do we say that? Because when men make a discovery, they capitalize. Women rationalize. Capitalize, rationalize. Rationalize, capitalize. The discovery of learning something new indicates that I can do something different. When women make a rationalization of something that they've discovered or learned, they want to know why, what, and how. Now, that may be a little bit different when it comes to thoughts. Thoughts are females that think like a man. They capitalize. They don't care about rationalize. That's why they're thoughts. But thoughts are usually have nots. Yes. That's so. 3 thoughts right there.
I thought so.
That's 3 thoughts right there. Thank you, sir. As we continue this debacle of a discussion of oh Lord, I'm having an attack of idiocy. As we continue this debacle of a discussion of whether or not women are more educated, they have learned more, they have grown more, but they still are not smarter than men. Why do I say that? Because some men have lost their mind and tried to be with other men, and they getting hurt. And they leaving and going back to the women. What does that tell you? That's smart, because we have enough sense to know that without y'all, we would be nothing. As my friend James Brown once said, it's a man's world, but he would be nothing without a woman or a girl. Tune in next time when Keep It Real Carter will be back. God bless your hearts and all other parts.
Keep It Real Carter, right here.
Academics Aloysius.
On Thought Radio.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ.
Hey,
play
Mr.
another slow jam.
Oh, you mix it all.
I got all of them, man. I got like 3 of them. Everybody got a DJ song. But Dion was saying something very interesting. He says that, what do you say?
Get on mic.
Yeah, get on the mic for the ladies and gentlemen. For
There's
the first
a difference
time.
in radio and media. If you have anything beyond a bachelor's, you have no experience at all, and you will not be respected by the people who've been in radio without degrees. So if you do have a degree and you have experience behind it, you're a well-respected person in radio. Versus going into teaching, they require you to have like a master's or something like that. So I found that out at versus Chicago State and teaching at Illinois Center for Broadcasting, because without the actual masters, you can't teach at universities. But without any kind of formal training, anybody can actually be a broadcaster because you have the experience to do so.
Absolutely. Wow. And that's that's monumental. That's monumental. And that's true. I've been on radio for about 3 or 4 years now. Okay. I have no degree, no nothing, certificate or toilet paper, nothing but my money says you can do it. And I put my money down, says, I want some time on your radio station. He says, okay, you got the money, you can have the mic and do what you want to. And with that, I began to learn my craft and learn my way around the microphone, okay, which is very important. Number 2, I had to realize that I'm not in the pulpit anymore. When I'm on the microphone, I'm on the microphone, and the people who are listening want a personable person. I found out being in another sister station that a lot of the broadcasters were, okay, on the radio.
Oh yeah, man.
On the radio. Yes. So they turned that microphone into the pulpit microphone, and the people who turning it on saying to themselves, I left church. I just left church, or it's Monday. I don't want to hear hooping. I want to hear somebody talk to me and talk to my heart. Because what comes from my heart reaches the heart, okay? Right. And they listen to radio for that reason. And so I had to learn my audience and learn my demographics in a sense, okay? Now I do and say whatever I want to. People know me. But I want to go into this thing about women who have education, but they're marrying men who do not. And I want to spend the rest of the show on this because this is kind of interesting. I knew, but I didn't know there was research done on it. It says more women are saying I do to men with lower levels of education, according to a new study. For the first time in 50 years, the Pew Research Center found that American wives are more likely to be better educated than their husbands. In the more than half century that Pew has traced this issue, this is the first time that a higher percentage of women than men have married down. They call it marrying down.
Wow.
The LA Times reports among college-educated newlyweds, 39% of women pledged their undying devotion to a non-grad. Only 26% of men did the same. In 2012, 27% of women married down, a threefold jump from 1960. The staggering numbers collected from census data do not necessarily mean that women are smarter than men. The trend towards wives being more educated than their husbands is even more prevalent among newlyweds, partly because younger women have surpassed men in higher education in the past 2 decades, the report reads. While women are marrying down, when it comes to education, that's not the case when it comes to income. According to the study, 58% of better educated women married men who earned more money. Comments?
I guess I take issue with the fact of marrying down because the connotation is that you are somehow less than because you are you have less education. A couple of things. One, I think women are marrying at older ages, like we're marrying later in life.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So then, yeah, because a lot of people are pursuing their education first,
yes,
and then deciding to settle down. So that could be a reason.
Yeah,
and then also, if you find a job with your current level of education that gives you the opportunity to be upwardly mobile,
yep,
then why would you pursue further education when you're getting that on-the-job training, that authentic learning, and you have basically carved a niche for yourself within this industry or within this particular business? So there are different reasons for a person not pursuing higher education. That doesn't mean that you are less than, you're a bum or that you're not making more money. And so that's a side of that research does not show.
Sure.
And just the wording of it kind of, it rubs me the wrong way. Like women are marrying down. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, and I don't. How things are placed in your lap depends on whether you're going to accept it or not.
Good expression.
Yeah. Because the truth can hit you in the face, and you won't receive it because of how it was delivered. And there's always a study done on some other study. Studies are studying studies. Okay, all right, and Come on. So one study it did say that they gave even down to the percentage of how much a person is affected by the content, and then how much of the person is affected by how the content was delivered. And I think this is why a lot of preachers, a lot of times, they lose their audience after 10 minutes or 15 minutes in their sermons because the content is good, but their delivery was boring. Okay, and so the African American preacher has learned a way of delivery. So he may squaw, he may do some tricks, pull rabbits out of his sleeves and all kinds of stuff, just because he know black people they ain't gonna listen too long. But I would like to find out though, Tina, about the marrying down. I agree with you on that term because it seems like it's like I'm into internet marketing and we have what's called upsells, downsells, okay, and cross sales. We who go into McDonald's, we are victim to all of those sales processes, all right? Because you walk into McDonald's and you see a number 5 on the menu, the next thing that the clerk is going to ask you is,
would you like an apple pie with that?
Would you like an apple pie?
Or what size?
They used to say, do you want to supersize? That's called an upsell, all right? A cross sell is do you want an apple pie with that?
Dunkin' Donuts does that.
Yeah.
Would you like hash browns with that?
There you go. Those are cross sales. And so what happens with McDonald's will lower the price of the menu to get you in the store. Man, that's on sale because they're banking on upsells, cross sales, and what they call down sales. That means you walk in there without wanting to buy a big product, but you realize I don't have the money, so they don't let you walk out the door
without anything.
That's right. So they'll downsell you something. Okay, here's a pen. It only cost you 50 cents. Okay, and that's the whole process. I think we do that in our sales and relationships as well. I think Hollywood, what they have done, if you notice, that we have created this word called cougar in women. Okay, and the cougar goes after that young lad. All right, and you see some of from Cher on down, these cougars.
Madonna.
They go, and a lot of times, here's what they do: they will settle for someone who's not in Hollywood. No, they're not actors.
Are they settling or choosing?
Okay, I think some of them are choosing and some of them are settling.
Okay,
because they don't want the headache of another actor, someone that's as famous as they are. It's a headache.
Well, I can understand in that position, but to say that they're settling would reduce the quality of the man that they've chosen.
Yes. Wow, Alvin.
But yet they're still settling.
That was profound.
It does reduce the man, but yet they're still settling. I believe,
but so how you gonna reduce a man?
Yeah.
A more popular or fluent man may not be able to do what the younger man can do.
But to say that you're
so
settling,
it might be an upgrade or a cross.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because to say that you're settling means that you are not receiving what you want or what or what you deserve. Like, and maybe I'm interpreting, but to settle for me is like a derogatory term. But I'm just gonna take that because I can't get.
So y'all
that.
saying that women are not doing that?
Some women are, but you led with the word settling.
Yes.
Well, I guess so. I think my wife settled for me.
Let me tell you. I'm telling you. Y'all, I think y'all living in a world
No, I said I think
one
some
side
do. Maybe my
I
wife
know
settled
some do.
I mean,
I've heard about their
I know
mouths.
some
and
do.
I know those in Hollywood have settled because many of them have had experiences with these men who they looked after. We did an entire show on women in church who always settle for the guy on the street. She wants the guy on the street.
Or chooses the guy on the street.
Okay, but a lot of times in their choosing, they're settling. You're going to choose regardless.
They're going to make the best out of it. If you can't love the one you want, love the one you with.
That's what I'm saying. And you often say, go where you're not tolerated.
Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Not tolerated. And there's a tolerance there as well.
You remember what I said?
I actually do. Yeah. So I think because of the statistics says that more women are in education and not a lot of the black men, then what happens is, well, there are not too many educated black men out there, so I want a man, so I have to choose the one that's not educated, because the one that's educated possibly have a mindset of I don't fit him. He wants that other.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to disagree with that. Like there are some that is very true.
You're no fun.
But I am a very educated woman who happens to be very attracted to and interested in blue collar men. Like
that's good.
I do.
I don't know why you like them blue collar men. Yeah. You see the way he hold that engine up there? He's strong. He's strong.
But what I'm saying is like I have.
Come here, John Henry.
John Henry.
Wow. I mean, well, hey. Anyway,
about the Mississippi girls, I tell you, bud.
But what I'm saying is like, I get that, but I don't think that I settle for a blue collar man. I think that I choose. That's just what I prefer. There are some sisters who settle because they feel like I need a man, and they ascribe to that any man is better than no man at all.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's
because you end up with a child basically.
Yes. Yes.
And that speaks to. It really speaks to a void and an insecurity within that sister.
And that's good. And the reason why I keep using the word settle, because again, and some of you may disagree with it, but I've been around the world. What's
been around the world.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and I've been in church where the mothers would get up and testify about their husbands, whether he was still living or whether he's a late husband, and they say the same thing. I didn't want him. I know I asked God for a certain man, and here comes this guy. I didn't want him.
Well, maybe he didn't come from God.
But you see, my point is, I didn't want him. But then he began to treat me like yada yada. He began to treat me like this, and then she said, "Well, okay, I guess there's no other guys coming around."
I've heard that before.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. So we can't be dogmatic to say that all women are either the choice, and then or can't be dogmatic to say all women are just settling. No, I think it's a case by case basis.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you from my experience talking with women, many of them are just settling because clock is ticking, the body's clicking. Okay, they said I want this baby by a certain time. All right,
you can go have a baby.
Oh, but I'm telling you, but there's still again choice is always in there. We know that. But okay, but this man is courting me right now. Let me just give this to him, my life to this guy, because I don't want to start over.
And then you spend the rest of your life
in regret,
unhappy, like missing out on this breathtaking exhilaration of living life on the edge and taking a risk.
Yes.
With school, with relationships, with trying something new, with meeting new people.
Right.
We live in this box, but then it's going to be the end of your life to say, I just settled. I lived life in black and white instead of embracing the hot pink.
And that's the testimony of so many women. Wow. And it's a sad testimony to have.
It is.
Yeah, it's a sad testimony to have, and something needs to be done about it. So to conclude this topic is, are women more educated than men? We have to specify what we mean by education. Do more women go to school or they finish school? Yes, statistically, yes, they do. Are we saying women are more smarter than men because they're in school? Not necessarily true. No, we don't even know the statistics on who's smarter.
No,
we just don't.
Because you can be smarter in different areas. Smarter is subjective.
They slicker, they sneaky.
Yeah,
and we got Bible to back that
up. We could talk. Well, that's another story. Let's talk about the Bible.
Yeah, and that's true. Surrender says some blue collar men make over 6 figures a year.
Yes, they
don't
do.
sleep on them, and she's right.
Well, I ain't gonna sleep with them.
Yeah. I think it was a Tyler Perry movie where the guy was he was what was he? He was driving a truck or something like that.
Mechanic, yeah.
Because she just left that wealthy guy because he was abusive, and then
he was driving a truck.
Yeah, she looked at this guy as driving his truck, and he's this and that, and she just like, well, I don't know. He ain't.
It was Shamar Moore with that man weave.
Yeah. But he owned his own home. Okay, he owned his own business. I think it was. Okay. Okay,
and he was doing a guy a favor when he was driving that truck, making a few extra dollars.
And I love that point there because I'm not a big Tyler Perry huge fan because a lot of his stuff is recycled, but in that situation there,
he's smart.
Yeah, he is. We walk away from the guy who wears that blue collar,
image,
not really realizing that he he might be the best for you spiritually, mentally, and financially
and physically, because he's strong.
Yeah, he's strong, absolutely. And he could be he may be making less than you, but he have wonderful financial discipline. Okay, he know how to save. He's got
his take home may be less,
yes,
but what he has at home may be more.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't have bills and credits and debts to pay and all that stuff.
I had more money in my pocket when I was making $20,000 than I did when I got that $31,000 raise.
But that's the thing.
You helping me out here.
Because with more money, you're also in a different tax bracket, and then also there's a pressure to live a certain way. So it totally depends.
You make more, you spend more.
We don't settle, sisters. Brothers don't settle either.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Get what you want.
Yes,
who you want.
And that's good. Yeah, get what you want, and
get who you can.
Get who you want.
Get who you want.
As long as they're not married.
Yes, absolutely. And encourage the people to get education. Please do, because there's so many people who are out there who really want to be educated, and you don't always have to go the traditional way of education.
Right.
You don't. We educate on this show a lot. Okay, you can go to community colleges. You don't have to do the 4 year to 6 year. You don't really have to do that.
And then you can go to community college for 2 years, do very well, and transfer into a university and get the rest of your education for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of free money out there, free funding. I went up to Moody Bible Institute and talked to some of the man who was over the financial department, and he was saying, a lot of my people in this community, which is African Americans, they will not take this money. We're offering it to them. But because it's a Bible college, they says, we don't want that. Even though it's money up to go, he says,
and it's a good education.
He says it's 4 years of free money I'm trying to give them, and we go to these churches, and these young men
going up there.
Yeah, they says we don't. A lot of our students here at the church don't want to enter into Bible college.
But that has some far-reaching implications, just about Bible college. Do they associate it with church?
And a lot of it is just like that original teaching contract too.
Yeah,
the restrictions they have to deal with.
Yeah,
they have for sure.
Moody, oh God, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even in their employment contract is strict.
Yeah,
at one time it was.
Yeah. So, the Surrender says, so if someone like Tina Steele married you, Sir Walter, then she's settling because you don't have the same level of education.
Why should always come?
I'm telling you, I told you everything I say on here, a woman gonna disagree, and I don't care. Yeah. So it's all about present. Hey, give me an outro. I ain't got no outro. Forget it. It's time for me to go. Okay, I gotta go, y'all. Hey, thank you, Tina. My Tuesday nights are one of the highest ratings because of you.
Yeah.
They love me.
Yeah, they love you. They love you. And Alvin, you all right? Tomorrow, Music Business Day. We're gonna talk about some music. I'm not sure what it is, but we're gonna talk about it because my guest just canceled on me. So we're gonna figure it out tomorrow. The devil! Sir Walter Jones Show.
You've been listening to the Sir Walter Jones Radio Show, where he provides you with a biblical perspective for your everyday life. Stay connected to Sir Walter Jones by visiting him online at www.sirwalterjones.com or on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Sir Walter Jones Show. Stay tuned until next time with the Sir Walter Jones Show with Sir Walter Jones.
If you can't find any work, I'll put in a good word for you at my job, man.
You ain't got no job, man!
Yeah, one more time. Randy Watson, how about it?
Holy Spirit, give me the words will bring new life. Words on the wings of the morning, the dark night will fade away. If you speak to my heart now, speak to my heart. Holy Spirit, message of love to encourage me, lifting my heart from despair. Love me and care for me. Speak to my heart now. Oh Lord, speak to my heart. Yeah. Holy Spirit, give me the words now. The words that oh my words on the wings of the morning, my love night will speak to my heart. Speak to my heart. Speak to me, Holy Spirit. Message of love, message of love to encourage me. Bring my heart from despair. How you love me, care for me. Speak to my heart. Oh my. Speak to my heart. That's what I want you to do. Speak to my heart. 'Cause I'm waiting to hear from you. Speak to my heart. Hey, that's what I want you to do. Speak to my heart. Speak to my heart, Lord. Oh, give me your holy word. If I can hear from you, then I'll know what to do. I won't go on. Never go on my own. Just let your spirit guide and let your word abide. Speak to my heart, Lord. Oh my God. Give me your holy word. If I can hear from you, if I can hear